There's a truth most people ignore. Your future isn't guaranteed. It's not waiting for you with open arms. It's shaped by the decisions you make right now. Every moment you waste, every excuse you give, every time you choose comfort over growth, your future fades a little more. The clock is ticking, and your potential is slipping away unless you take control today. Every single decision you make today is writing the story of your tomorrow. The future isn't a mystery. It's the result of your patterns, your habits, your thoughts, and your choices. You can't keep living as if time will wait for you. You can't keep saying, one day I'll change. That one day never comes. The truth is your future is being built right now, moment by moment, through the little decisions you make when no one's watching. The choice to wake up early or hit snooze. The choice to work on your dream or scroll through distractions. The choice to speak life into yourself or believe the lies of doubt. Every one of these choices is casting a vote for the person you're becoming. Most people think the future is something that just happens, that somehow life will fall into place, that opportunities will show up when the time is right. But the universe doesn't reward wishes, it rewards actions. The person who decides to commit, to act, to take responsibility for their life, that's the person who wins. Your choices are like seeds. You can't see their growth right away, but every choice you make either plants the seed of progress or the seed of regret. And one day, you will harvest what you've planted. Think about it, everything you have in your life right now. Your relationships, your finances, your health, your confidence is the result of choices you made in the past. And everything you will have in the future will be the result of the choices you make today. That's power. That means you're not a victim of circumstances, you're a creator of destiny. But most people don't see it that way. They blame luck, they blame timing, they blame other people. But deep down, the truth is simple. Your life is a mirror of your decisions. The most dangerous thing you can do is live on autopilot. To wake up, go through your routine, do what's comfortable and never question if your actions are aligned with your dreams. The comfort zone is the silent killer of potential. It feels safe, it feels familiar. But it's slowly suffocating your growth. You think you're okay because nothing's falling apart. But that's the trap. Nothing's improving either. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. That's how futures die. Not in one big crash, but in small moments of neglect, small choices of comfort, small acts of settling for less. When you decide to take control of your choices, you reclaim your power. You start realizing that success isn't about massive overnight change. It's about consistent decisions that move you one step closer to your vision. Every time you say yes to growth, you build momentum. Every time you say no to excuses, you strengthen your future. You may not see instant results, but results are coming. As long as you stay consistent, you've got to stop making decisions based on how you feel and start making them based on what you want to become. Feelings are temporary, but decisions shape eternity. You won't always feel motivated. You won't always feel confident. But if you can make the right choices despite that, you'll create a future that others only dream of. Most people let emotions control their direction. They do what's easy, what feels good right now, and they end up paying the price later. Winners, on the other hand, delay gratification. They suffer now so they can shine later. They understand that every time they push through discomfort, they're buying freedom in the future. There's no neutral choice. Every decision is either taking you closer to your purpose or pulling you further away from it. Every time you say, I'll do it later, you're voting for procrastination. And procrastination is a thief. It steals your dreams quietly while convincing you that you still have time. But you don't. Time is slipping through your fingers. Every day you delay, you trade a piece of your potential for comfort. That trade will never be worth it. Your choices today are the architects of your destiny. You decide if your future self will thank you or resent you. Imagine looking back 5 years from now. Would you be proud of how you used your days? Would you feel gratitude for your discipline? Or would you wish you had tried harder? Because 5 years will pass whether you act or not. The only difference is what you'll have to show for it. If you want a better future, start acting like it now. Stop talking about what you'll do someday. There is no someday. There's only today, right now, this moment. The future doesn't wait for dreamers, it rewards doers. If you want success, act successful now. If you want health, act healthy now. If you want confidence, act confident now. The mind follows the body. When you take decisive action, belief follows. You build faith by doing. You must train yourself to make hard choices. Hard choices today make life easier tomorrow. Easy choices today make life harder tomorrow. When you choose to study instead of wasting time, when you choose to exercise instead of making excuses, when you choose to face your fears instead of hiding from them, those moments define your future. Every sacrifice builds your foundation. Every struggle strengthens your story. Every disciplined choice moves you closer to the person you're meant to be. Don't wait for the perfect time. It doesn't exist. The perfect time is the moment you decide that your future matters more than your comfort. People waste their lives waiting for the stars to align, for the right conditions, for motivation to strike, and in that waiting they lose everything. Your life changes the moment you decide to act, not the moment you feel ready. Readiness is a myth. Progress is born in uncertainty. Growth is found in discomfort. Every day is a new chance to change your direction. You could wake up today and decide, enough is enough. I'm done living small. I'm done making excuses. I'm done wasting potential. And in that moment, everything shifts. Not because the world changes, but because you do. The power to change your life has always been in your hands. It was never lost, just forgotten. You don't need permission. You just need a decision. Stop underestimating the power of small actions. People think success is about massive leaps, but it's really about consistent steps. You don't climb a mountain in one jump. You take one step, then another, and before you know it, you're standing at the top. Your choices are those steps. Every day you choose progress over procrastination. Every day you choose focus over distraction. Every day you choose courage over comfort. That's how you win. There will be times you'll fail, times you'll fall, times you'll question if it's worth it. But those moments aren't signals to quit. They're tests to see how bad you really want it. Your future doesn't belong to the person who starts strong. It belongs to the one who refuses to give up when it gets hard. Strength isn't built when everything's easy. It's built in the moments when you want to quit but choose to keep going anyway. You've got to understand, your future self is depending on you. That version of you, stronger, wiser, freer, is waiting on the other side of your discipline. But if you give in to laziness, to fear, to excuses, that version will never exist. You'll rob yourself of the life you were meant to live. You'll watch others live the life you dreamed of, not because they were better, but because they made better choices. Your life isn't determined by fate, it's determined by focus. Whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, you'll find more problems. If you focus on possibilities, you'll create opportunities. Every day, you decide where your energy goes, and where energy goes, life grows. So stop feeding your doubts and start feeding your determination. The truth is, no one's coming to save you. No one's going to make the choices for you. No one's going to push you when you don't feel like it. It's on you. That's what freedom is, responsibility. You have the power to shape your life, but you also bear the weight of that power. You can't blame the past, your circumstances, or anyone else. You are the author of your story, and every choice you make is a sentence in that story. Don't let fear write your future. Don't let comfort steal your calling. Don't let doubt silence your dreams. You are capable of far more than you realize, but capability means nothing without commitment. You have to commit to yourself, to your growth, your goals, your greatness. Because your future is at risk every time you choose to be average, every time you choose what's easy instead of what's right. So, make the decision now. Choose to act, to rise, to fight for the future you deserve. Make every day a declaration that your destiny is yours to create. Every moment you spend in discipline, in growth, in focus, that's an investment in your future. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that the person you became wasn't a product of luck or fate. It was the result of one thing: the choices you made when it mattered most. Discipline is the invisible force that separates the dreamers from the achievers. It's not talent, not luck, not opportunity that determines who rises and who falls. It's discipline. The ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. The willingness to show up every single day, especially when the excitement fades. Dreams are beautiful, but without discipline, they die in silence. You can have the best intentions in the world, but intentions don't build empires, actions do. And consistent action comes only from discipline. Discipline is the guardian of your future. It's the shield that protects your dreams from destruction. Because make no mistake, your future is under attack every single day. It's attacked by distraction, by laziness, by procrastination, by comfort, by doubt. These enemies creep into your mind quietly, convincing you to rest when you should rise, to wait when you should act, to settle when you should fight. Discipline is the only defense that keeps you on track when everything inside you wants to quit. There's a dangerous belief that motivation is enough, that as long as you feel inspired, you'll move forward. But that's a lie. Motivation is temporary. It burns bright for a moment and then disappears. Discipline, though, is what keeps you moving when the fire burns low. It's what makes you wake up early when you're tired. It's what keeps you working when no one's clapping. It's what makes you say no to temptation when your emotions scream yes. Motivation starts the journey. Discipline finishes it. Every dream you have will demand a price. The price is your comfort, your excuses, your need for instant gratification. Discipline is what helps you pay that price willingly. It's not punishment, it's protection. It protects your potential from being wasted. Every time you practice discipline, you strengthen your control over your future. You take power away from the part of you that's lazy, scared, and distracted, and you give power to the part of you that's hungry, focused, and unstoppable. You see, discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. You build it by doing what's hard. You build it by keeping promises to yourself. You build it by showing up, even when you're not in the mood. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, whether it's finishing a workout, studying one more hour, or staying consistent with your goals, you're building trust with yourself. And that trust becomes unshakable confidence. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's saying, I value my future too much to sabotage it with temporary pleasure. But most people lose their future because they chase comfort. They want results, but they don't want to go through the process. They want the reward without the grind, the victory without the sacrifice. But life doesn't work that way. Success isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you earn through disciplined effort. You have to do the things you don't want to do when you don't feel like doing them, so that one day you can live the life others only dream about. Discipline means doing the work even when no one notices. It's easy to show up when people are watching. It's easy to act motivated when you're surrounded by energy and excitement. But the real test is what you do when no one's there to cheer you on. What do you do when you're alone? When it's quiet? When the doubts get loud? Do you still push? Do you still keep going? That's where discipline lies. In the lonely hours, in the unseen effort, in the battles fought in silence. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. You'll make mistakes. You'll fall short. You'll have days where you fail. But discipline means getting back up every single time. It means not letting one bad day turn into a bad week, or one bad choice turn into a bad habit. It's about holding yourself accountable and refusing to let your emotions dictate your destiny. Discipline says, I'll keep going no matter what. When you master discipline, you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving yourself options. You stop saying, maybe tomorrow. Because tomorrow is just another form of escape. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks, what needs to be done? That simple question is the key to progress. When you live by what needs to be done, instead of what you feel like doing, you become unstoppable. Your mind will resist it at first. It will scream for comfort. It will whisper that you deserve a break, that it's okay to rest just this once. But if you give in to those whispers, they'll turn into habits. And those habits will become your identity. That's how people lose their future. Not through big failures, but through small acts of surrender repeated over and over again. Every time you choose comfort, you reinforce weakness. Every time you choose discipline, you reinforce strength. Discipline doesn't just build your future, it builds your character. It's what transforms you into someone who can handle success when it comes. Because success without discipline leads to destruction. Many people reach success only to lose it, because they never built the habits to sustain it. Discipline teaches you patience. It teaches you humility. It teaches you how to stay grounded when you rise and how to stay hungry when you win. There's a freedom that comes with discipline. At first, it feels like restriction. It feels like you're giving up your freedom because you're saying no to distractions, no to laziness, no to pleasure. But over time, you realize discipline isn't taking away your freedom, it's giving it to you. When you're disciplined with your time, you gain control over your days. When you're disciplined with your health, you gain energy to live fully. When you're disciplined with your mind, you gain clarity and peace. The undisciplined are slaves to their impulses. The disciplined are masters of their destiny. Imagine your future self a few years from now, stronger, wiser, wealthier, more fulfilled. That version of you doesn't come from luck. It comes from discipline. It comes from the days you stayed focused when others quit. It comes from the moments you kept going when no one believed in you. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your greatness. Without it, dreams are just words. There will be days when you'll want to quit. Days when everything feels heavy, when progress feels slow, when no one seems to notice your effort. Those are the days discipline matters most. Because in those moments, you're training your spirit. You're developing the mental toughness that makes you unstoppable. You're building the emotional armor that will protect your future from collapse. Every time you push through resistance, you're rewriting your limits. Discipline requires vision. You have to know what you're working toward. You can't stay consistent with something you don't value deeply. When your why is strong, your discipline becomes natural. You stop asking, do I have to? And start saying, I get to. You start seeing discipline as a privilege, not a punishment. You begin to understand that every moment of effort is an investment in your legacy. Look around. The world is full of people with dreams, but very few with discipline. Everyone wants success, but only a handful are willing to do the daily grind it requires. The disciplined few become leaders, while the undisciplined many become followers. The difference isn't intelligence. It's not opportunity, it's the ability to control the self. If you can master you can master anything. Discipline teaches you how to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term gain. It's the muscle that helps you say no to what's easy so you can say yes to what's meaningful. And like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it's hard. You'll resist it, you'll stumble. But if you stay consistent, discipline becomes who you are. It becomes automatic. You start to crave structure, order, focus. You start to respect time. You start to hold yourself to a higher standard. Your future is fragile without discipline. It can be stolen in a moment of weakness, a moment of distraction, a moment of neglect. That's why discipline must become your armor. You must protect your goals from the noise of the world. The world will tempt you with shortcuts, with comfort, with distractions that feel good, but destroy your potential. Discipline keeps you grounded. It keeps you moving toward the vision, no matter what's happening around you. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving forward. Discipline is what ensures that even when life throws chaos your way, you don't lose your path. It's your compass in the storm. When everything else feels uncertain, discipline gives you stability. It reminds you that you have control over your actions, and that control is the foundation of success. So decide today to become disciplined in every area of your life. Your habits, your mindset, your time, your energy. Guard them fiercely, because every act of discipline brings you closer to your future, and every act of laziness pushes it further away. Don't let your dreams die because you weren't willing to control yourself. Don't let your potential go to waste because you chose comfort over commitment. You don't need to be the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented. You just need to be the most consistent. Discipline will take you where talent can't. It will open doors that motivation won't. It will make you unstoppable in a world full of distractions. Every disciplined choice is a declaration that your future matters more than your feelings. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize that discipline wasn't a burden. It was the greatest gift you ever gave yourself. Fear of failure is one of the most powerful forces holding people back from the life they're meant to live. It's the silent killer of dreams, the invisible wall that stops people from taking action, the voice that whispers, "What if you're not good enough?" Most people don't even realize how deeply fear controls them. They mistake it for logic, for caution, for being realistic. But underneath all those excuses lies one truth. They're scared. Scared to try, scared to fail, scared to be seen struggling. And so, they never move. They stay stuck in the same place, living the same year over and over, calling it life. The future belongs to those who face their fear of failure head on. You cannot create an extraordinary future while being terrified of mistakes. Failure isn't your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. The difference is, they didn't let fear stop them. They used failure as feedback, as fuel, as proof that they were in the arena fighting for something meaningful. The people who win in life aren't fearless, they've just learned how to move forward despite fear. Fear of failure disguises itself well. It tells you to wait for the right time. It tells you that you're not ready yet. It tells you that conditions need to be perfect before you act. But that's the trap. There is no perfect time, and waiting only makes fear stronger. The more you hesitate, the louder fear becomes. The only way to silence it is through action. When you act in the face of fear, you weaken its power. Every step you take toward your goal sends a message to your brain that you're in control, not your fear. Think about all the things you've ever wanted to do but didn't. The dreams you talked yourself out of. The opportunities you let pass by. The ideas you buried because you were afraid of looking foolish. That's the cost of fear. Every time you choose comfort over courage, your future shrinks. Fear makes people settle for less than they deserve. It convinces them that it's safer to stay small than to risk failure. But in reality, not trying is the ultimate failure. You don't fail when you fall, you fail when you stop getting up. Your future is at risk every time you let fear control your decisions. Because fear doesn't just stop you from failing, it stops you from succeeding. It stops you from growing, learning, and evolving into the person you're meant to be. It convinces you that it's better to survive than to thrive, that it's better to be safe than to be fulfilled. But deep down, you know that's not true. You can feel it. That pull inside, that restlessness, that voice that says, you were meant for more. That's your potential calling out to you. And the only thing standing between you and that life is fear. Failure isn't something to avoid. It's something to embrace. Every failure carries a lesson that success can't teach you. Failure humbles you. It strengthens you. It exposes your weaknesses and shows you where you need to grow. It gives you experience, resilience, and wisdom. Every time you fail, you're not going backward, you're evolving. You're gaining the tools you need to win bigger next time. The people who fear failure the most are usually the ones who've never truly lived. They stay safe, and because of that, they stay small. Fear creates illusions. It tells you that the pain of failure is unbearable, but in reality, the pain of regret is far worse. You can recover from failure. You can rebuild, restart, and reinvent yourself. But you can't recover from never trying. You can't go back in time and reclaim lost potential. The day will come when you'll look back on your life, and you'll have to face one of two emotions, pride or regret. Pride for the times you took a chance, or regret for the times you didn't. The choice is yours right now, in this moment. You have to start seeing failure as part of the process, not the end of it. Every time you fail, you're getting closer to success because you're learning what doesn't work. You're refining your path. You're building strength. Look at any great inventor, leader, or creator. None of them got it right the first time. They failed, they adjusted, and they tried again. That's the cycle of growth. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is simple. The ones who make it never let fear stop them. Fear of failure is rooted in ego. It's the fear of what others will think, the fear of looking stupid, the fear of being judged. But here's the truth. Most people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. They're too busy worrying about their own fears. You can't build your future based on other people's opinions. You can't let the fear of embarrassment decide your destiny. The opinions of others don't pay your bills. Don't build your dreams. Don't live your life. Stop giving them power over you. Your future self is counting on you to push past fear, to take risks, to fail forward, to learn. Because every time you overcome fear, you unlock a new level of confidence. You begin to realize that fear is just a feeling, not a fact. It's your body's natural response to stepping into the unknown, but the unknown is where growth lies. Everything you want, success, happiness, fulfillment, exists just beyond the wall of fear. The moment you stop running from it and start running toward it, your life begins to change. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more. When your vision becomes more powerful than your fear, you become unstoppable. You have to remind yourself why you started, why your dream matters, and why failure isn't the end. It's part of your evolution. The most successful people in the world failed countless times before they found their rhythm. The only difference is they didn't quit. They saw failure not as defeat, but as feedback. Every time you face fear and act anyway, you build mental toughness. You prove to yourself that fear can't control you. You start to see it differently, not as a barrier, but as a sign that you're on the right track. Fear shows up when you're expanding, when you're breaking through comfort zones, when you're doing something that matters. If you're not scared, you're not growing. Fear is proof that you're stretching beyond the limits of your old self. The problem is that people have been conditioned to avoid discomfort. They've been taught that pain means something's wrong. But growth requires discomfort. You can't build muscle without resistance. You can't build courage without fear. You can't build success without failure. Pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. Every struggle is shaping you into the person capable of holding the future you desire. You've got to rewire the way you see failure. Instead of saying, what if I fail? Start saying, what will I learn if I fail? Because once you learn, you can't lose. Every setback contains wisdom. Every disappointment contains direction. Sometimes failure redirects you towards something better than what you were chasing. What you think is the end might just be the beginning of something greater. But you'll never know if you never try. When you fear failure, you live life half asleep. You stop taking risks. You stop dreaming big. You start playing it safe, doing only what's familiar, only what guarantees comfort. But comfort never creates greatness. The moment you prioritize safety over growth, your future begins to die. The people who achieve extraordinary things are the ones willing to risk failing spectacularly. Because even if they fall forward, closer to the truth, closer to mastery, closer to success. Fear will always be there. It never disappears completely. But it doesn't have to control you. You can walk with fear. You can use it as a compass. When you feel fear, it's usually pointing you toward the thing you need to do most. That's where your growth lies. That's where your future is hiding behind the fear you're avoiding. The more you face it, the smaller it becomes. The less you face it, the stronger it grows. The future you want requires courage. It requires you to take leaps of faith, to step into the unknown, to risk looking foolish in pursuit of something greater. Every great story of success begins with someone who refused to let fear win. You can't let fear dictate your destiny, because if you let it, you'll end up with a life that's safe, but empty. A life without meaning. A life full of what ifs. The truth is, you will fail sometimes. You will fall short. You will make mistakes. But those moments don't define you. Your response to them does. Do you get back up? Do you learn? Do you keep going? That's what shapes your character. Every failure you survive makes you stronger. Every time you fall and rise again, you become more dangerous to fear. Because fear loses its power over those who refuse to quit. So stop running from failure. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Stop letting fear control your steps. Take the risk, make the move. Speak your truth. Try the thing that scares you. Because on the other side of that fear is your freedom. On the other side is your purpose. On the other side is the life you were meant to live. Fear of failure has already stolen enough from you. Don't let it steal your future too. One day, you'll look back and realize that the failures that once terrified you are the very things that built you. The rejection that crushed you taught you resilience. The mistake that embarrassed you taught you humility. The loss that broke you taught you strength. Everything that fear warned you about was actually working for your growth. You'll see that failure didn't ruin your life. It revealed who you really are. So face your fears now. Fail boldly. Fail proudly. Fail forward. Because every time you do, you're rewriting your future. You're showing the world and yourself that you're not defined by fear. You're defined by faith, by courage, by perseverance. The only real failure is the one you don't learn from. Everything else is progress. The future doesn't belong to those who never fall. It belongs to those who fall and rise again, stronger each time. So stop hiding, stop hesitating, take control. The fear will always be there, but so will your power to choose. And the moment you choose courage over fear, you reclaim your future. That's when you truly begin to live, free, fearless, and unstoppable.